Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is your man Hollywood.
Man Hollywood.
The man Hollywood.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah.
You're very zen today.
I'm very zen.
Yeah, very zen. Very. Yeah. I got that aura from you when you walked in.
I'm sorry. I thought I showered.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm sorry.
apologize for that. I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. That's all right.
So how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you been?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are the eyeballs doing? The
Eyeballs are
everything
great,
all set
man.
and ready to go?
I can see better now than I did before. I hardly even need the readers.
Excellent. Yeah. You still hitting the gym?
Of course.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
We should, you should get together and go hit the gym together one day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll get the gym to sponsor us because we need sponsors.
Yeah, we need some sponsors. Yeah. So any gyms out there looking to sponsor a podcast, we're looking.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, we have some folks in the studio tonight.
We do, as every night.
Legendary. These guys are legendary. I can't tell you. I mean, I think these guys have been around about 103 years now. Or
Somewhere around
like
that, yeah.
It seems like it because when I started playing in bands, I saw them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to tell everybody who it is?
It's Mr. Myers.
All right.
And they brought their fans with them.
They did. Yeah. And once again, it's always guys.
Yeah,
I don't hear one female voice in there. What's up with you guys?
No.
I don't know. So how's it going, guys?
We are good.
Yeah. You guys came in from a long way. Todd, it was?
We're up
And
north, yeah.
And Dylan.
Todd and Dylan. Right. Okay. Where'd you come from?
Genoa, Illinois. So
Genoa.
not Italy, but yeah.
Yeah, Genoa. Jeez,
Almost as far.
We're not that important, but man, thanks for being here. I do appreciate that because I know exactly where it is. I have a friend that lives in Genoa, actually, so that's quite a hike.
But they still don't hold the record.
They don't.
No, we did have one person that came here from Green Bay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The band plays here. He lives in Green Bay, but he came all the way down, did the interview, and said, I asked him, "Are you staying at your brother's house tonight?" He goes, "Oh no, I'm going back to Green Bay."
Round trip.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you really got to want to be here.
Yeah.
Drive back from Green Bay.
Yeah.
Although if I lived in Green Bay, I'd want to get out every once in a while.
Yeah, I can. I couldn't be a Packers fan.
No, not at all.
Never.
I couldn't. Although, one of my closest and dearest friends, I've known him since the 4th grade. Mm-hmm. His son actually plays for them, and I'm very conflicted about that. Matt Orzak Jr. is their long snapper.
Yeah.
And I went to school with his father, Matt Orzak. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's like, okay, yeah, I'm a Matt Orzak fan, but I can't be a Green Bay fan.
No, just cannot do it.
I just can't do it. Yeah. So anyways, how you guys doing? Everybody doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
We are good.
Take us way, way back. First of all, how long have you guys been around? Tell everybody that.
It's going to be 44. We're on 44 right now. So
44 years.
in band years, that says more than dog years. Yeah.
Yeah, way more than dog years. Still don't have M&R Rush beat yet, though, do they?
No, they do not.
Wow.
No, they do not. They're at this year's 53 years.
53 years. Ray works with M&R Rush, so he's
Very
kind of
cool.
proud of that.
And all original members.
Yeah.
Still
That's
recording new music.
Yeah, because I know they're not all original members because he's not. He's 24.
I'm not quite that old.
Right. So how did this whole thing come about? Take us back 44 years, and people want to know, how this entire thing was created.
It started in Wisconsin because I'm actually a cheesehead. I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
I thought I smelled something.
And so it goes back to, I was looking for a percussion school. I started playing, drums and piano when I was like 5. And the only school in the country that had a steel band was NIU. And so I auditioned at a bunch of different schools, and I was hooked when I heard these guys play because I had been to the Caribbean. I got lucky enough to go. So it's really my parents' fault that they got me hooked on this. But went there in 78 and, hung around, and I started doing some jams with the guys after hours with steel drums, and then bringing a bass player, bringing a guitar player. And it was kind of like after hours, we kind of took over the steel band room. And so in 1981, I was a junior, and we started actually gigging. And by about 1982, we started going on the road, and So my grades went, but at that point, it was all NIU music majors, which it's been a lot of these guys over the years. And then I think by the mid 80s, we were doing the college tour. So we had a big old refrigeration truck that, we go out and we were in 17 states. We'd wake up Friday morning, drive to Cleveland, and, we'd play and then we'd go on, do Akron. So we come back Monday morning about 6 a.m. and then go to class.
Wow.
Supposedly.
So you guys did some traveling. It wasn't just around the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
You guys did some traveling for quite a while.
Yeah, it was really neat back in the, that time we were a lot more mobile.
Right. Funny that you said that because you're right about the NIU steel bands and everything. I was in a band years ago called Forget Hannah. They are still in existence today. I was one of the founders of the band and everything. And our drummer at the time, a guy named Doug, same story. He was a steel drum major at NIU but he wanted to be in a rock and roll band. So he went out and bought a conventional kit and taught himself how to play a conventional kit and didn't play steel drums. And I mean, we were doing, 90s rock. But he was a steel drum major. And to this day, I've never heard him play steel drums because he doesn't even have a set anymore. But apparently, he actually became like a student of some world-renowned steel drum maker. I mean, he could not only play them, he could make them. But I never heard him play because he just didn't have a set. I don't know what it was. But interesting story, though.
I think what is his last name? I think it's Doug Walker. I think.
No, not Doug.
That's a different guy.
Not Doug Walker. And I swear to God, I was going to tell you his last name, but you know how one of those things where it's right on the tip of your tongue and then you get side. I'm a musician, so I have too much ADD to remember everything.
Could
and I was
be
going to
age.
tell you it's also age as well.
Should go on Prevagen.
Yeah. By the end of the show, I'm going to remember his last
That's
name.
okay. That's
Because I'm going back about, I'm over 10 years that I played with those guys.
So yeah, mid 80s. I mean, we started doing actually LP albums in studios with 2-inch tape, and I still, that stuff it's all come back now, but we've done, I think 4 studio albums and 3 live albums. So it just kind of continues, but I did a compilation of all the vinyl stuff on a double disc in 1986. We did that, or 96. I'm sorry. I lost 10 years. And, so then these guys came on board. So I don't know if you want to go this way. He's chronologically the oldest. This is Rich Fulfs over here.
Yeah, I joined in early 89. So it's been 36 plus years now. So of steady employment. Actually, I played bass in the band for the first year and a half, and on one of the albums, actually, it was a trombone player that picked up bass. Because I could read the bass clef, so it was very easy to do that. But I was also a guitar player. Guitar player left after about a year and a half, and I jumped into that spot, and I've been there ever since.
So he's on the horn section on the early stuff too. He is the horn section.
Yeah, that's right. Me and Frank and Benz.
Yeah, I think there's about 85 people over 44 years. I'm not going to do the math, but this guy, he skewed the thing a little bit, so which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
And so
we're gonna take a step back really quick because I'll tell you what, we've got people of all different ages that listen to the podcast, right? So there's people like myself, I know what you guys do. Ray knows what you do, but tell everybody exactly the type and style of music that you're playing. Because I don't think we've ever had anybody on the podcast before that does this particular.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Well, as I started out, I was very influenced by Bob Marley and Harry Belafonte, Jimmy Buffett, all the island stuff. But we tended to do the Marley stuff more authentic. The steel band doesn't have the real bass, doesn't have guitar skink. So we took and combined the steel drums with all the traditional stuff in reggae bands and calypso, all that stuff. And we made, it's called Caribbean rock, which is funny because now it's called trop rock. And I should have just
called what?
Now it's called trop rock. Okay, which is kind of since Buffett has passed away, of course, but it's kind of that genre with the acoustic guitar and the hammock so we do like the prior subs that we do quite a bit more. We do quite a bit of either Paul Simon or we do even some Rusted Root. We do
Police.
Yeah, a lot of Police.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are kind of branching out a little bit.
Sting, on our first live album, we did So Lonely. We had a great sing along, but the Police, we do now we do some Jack Johnson, we do Rusted Root, but there's also a lot of originals involved. So, the catalog's probably, I got over 100 tunes in originals. So what we do is, we'll do our originals, but we, smatter them in, but also like I might do Cecilia in a world music style. And so people know the song, but they don't know the groove. And that's why I think it's been successful, because we've melded that kind of thing together where you redo a cover song in a completely different way. It's definitely worked for us, so.
Right.
We got another gentleman sitting over here who's kind of a legend unto himself. But, here, I'm going to give this over. This is Wally Huston. Hey, Wally.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. How you doing, Wally?
Good. Yeah. I've been around for early 2000s?
Yeah.
That's still like almost 20 years. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's 20 years.
Yeah. I actually remember seeing the band through all the festivals around town. And, I say that's cool because it was different than everything else that was. Now, I've been playing we're talking about, mid-70s.
He's got quite a resume.
Yeah. I used to, in town, I used to play with, there was a band called One Way. Mm-hmm. It was like 10, 12 piece band, the Tower Power, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And, there was, there's so many bands. I know maybe some of you guys, you were talking about M&R Rush. I played with a band called Koala.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember that from back then. Yeah. Koala. And then, a lot of club band, a lot of show bands. And then I went on the road with, Dave Mason.
Okay.
With him for a bunch of years. I did a little bit with John Denver. Remember Phoebe Snow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wait,
good resume.
You went on the road with John Denver.
Okay. There's even like bands like Bon Jovi.
Right.
They do the tours.
Right. Yeah.
Then they do corporate stuff.
Sure.
9 times out of 10, most of the band is not from the band.
Right.
It's
For
just
the corporate stuff is what
yeah.
you're
So
saying.
when I did John Denver, it was like John Denver, me, and maybe a percussionist.
Right.
And it was a corporate or a private thing.
Right.
So I never really did the tours. Same with Phoebe Snow. It was like I was on the road with Dave. We played, in Manhattan, played whatever the clubs we were playing back then. Phoebe would come in, sit in, and say, "What are you doing? How long are you in town?" I went 2 weeks. Go do some private stuff.
Yeah. Do you by chance know Terry Rollins, a guy named Terry Rollins?
I remember the name. I just can't remember from where.
Yeah, he lives right around here. He's down the road over in the Lockport area. And same story. He played with Jimmy Buffett, but he was not a member of the Coral Reefer Band. When Jimmy Buffett opened up a new cheeseburger in Paradise, he was his bass player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Just a little bit of advice. Don't get into a plane with John Denver.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. But you know what? When I print,
Especially with an open bar.
we were doing with Dave. We used to do Dave Mason. We used to do these ski tours. We do all the major ski resorts. So we were in Aspen, and they had the China Club there. So we went to play, and there was John Denver was on the bill. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. John Denver's wife, who was a big singer from Australia. And that's how I met those people. And then I played with them. We did the whole show, but it was insane. I had no idea all the years of watching John Denver on TV, Ed Sullivan Show. How far back does that go, right?
Yeah. Or playing the guy that works with God.
Yeah. No, when I met him, I had no idea how big he was. He never looked big to me on TV.
A hulking man.
He was he was pretty buffed and
Big dude, huh?
Yeah, maybe 6 feet.
Wow.
At least. Yeah, I had no idea. He always looked small to me on TV.
Yeah. You kind of surprised me there too, because he doesn't seem like he'd be a big dude. Wow.
Yeah. And he smoked a lot of pot.
Oh, sure. Of course.
That was all true.
Well,
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, I remember when he passed away, I was like, all this stuff started coming out about he had a drinking problem and he smoked a lot of pot and the whole bit. And it was like, that's not the image that he portrayed in the public at all.
Yeah.
It's like, he almost didn't believe it. But hey, so who was the Doug that you thought it was from NA?
Oh, Doug Walker. I knew him from, he was a steel band player after I left.
Okay.
I don't know if that was him or not. But.
No, it was Doug Dale.
Okay, no, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I was similar, exact similar story.
You sure you're not thinking of Dick Dale?
No, it's not Dick Dale.
Okay.
It's Doug Dale. Not Dave Dale, Dan Dale, Dale Dale. There could be a Dale Dale. Oh my God. There
Chip
could
and
be.
Dale.
Yeah, Chip and Dale.
That's a duo. That's a duo.
It's a duo.
That's a good joke. All right. That was a good one. Yeah. So I think actually, no, we can't overlook this young man over here. He's obviously not been in the band for 44 years.
Not quite, no.
Yep. So tell everybody who you are, when you joined, the whole bit.
Yeah, I'm Dylan Donnelly. I'm Todd's son. So I grew up kind of
Nepotism.
calypso nepotism. That could be a song. It's got a nice ring to it.
Calippitis. A little calippitis is what it is. Oh, that sounds like a sexually transmitted disease. though.
does, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't think
I got a
you
case of the calippitis.
Yeah, a little penicillin will help that.
No. So, yeah,
And what do you play?
I play keys in
Yeah?
the band. So I grew up kind of seeing him do the whole thing. And originally, when you're really young, you don't really know what your dad actually does. It's just like, oh, he seems to be like working different hours than most of my friends' dads. And then when I get a little
I think
older,
Dad works as a hooker. I think my dad's a hooker. He leaves the house at like 7 o'clock, comes home at 3 a.m. with all this
all this
money in his
cash.
pocket. Yeah.
It's all cash.
All singles.
Yeah. A lot of singles, yeah. And then when I got a little older, then I started to actually go out and see the bands, and I'd be like, whoa, they're just like creating this amazing music on stage. There's this chemistry. They're not just like playing, they're like watching each other, they're improvising, they're playing off each other. It's this really fun thing. And then eventually I started playing piano on my own, and it kind of worked out that I slowly started slipping my way into playing with the band. It would be like I do a song or two here and there for fun to kind of,
He's like, that was my plan.
Infiltrate.
worked my way in. Yeah.
He mentioned, I'm going to take it over.
I'm going to take over this band.
Then we're going to turn it into a Foo Fighters tribute band like I planned. No.
It's really gradually. It's like the frog boiling in the water. People will never know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So did you always want to play this kind of music, or you're just like, I'm going to do it because my dad does it?
I mean, I would say it started out doing it because my dad does it. Because like, I don't think people who are like 14, 15, like when I started, I think first playing, are probably not going to be as influenced by like all the 70s stuff that he was. But then through like learning that stuff, I got like a really deep appreciation for it. Bob Marley, Jimmy Buffett, Paul Simon, all these artists we play and the lineage he's created. And then I'd say probably 2019-ish is when I pretty much became the full-time keyboardist, because for a long time there had been no keyboard player. Like usually
because he killed and buried the original keyboard player. So he'll take the spot over.
It's a lot of pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared every day.
Yeah, that's right. He just cornered him one day and said, I have a shotgun and a shovel, and I know how to use both of them. You can walk away or this is going to get ugly.
That's right.
And he took over the spot, right?
That's right.
That's what it was.
That's how it works.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23
so I was
years
born
old.
in 01, so about half the age of the band.
He just graduated from
Lawrence University up in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Lawrence University? Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
well,
good.
thank you. Yeah,
You're
made
about the same age as my kids, and it's the same exact thing. It's like I've been trying to give my kids music lessons their entire life. My son could have been playing guitar since he was 5, but he's only been playing guitar since he was 20, because now he decides, okay, Dad was right. And he's a fantastic drummer. He really is. He taught himself how to play the drums. So
yeah. And speaking of
eventually
drummers,
one day.
my younger brother also, we do the family thing too. He's 20 now. He turns 21 in August. He's pretty much the full-time drummer in our band too for the past like 3 years.
He's up there now.
Where's he?
His name's Tyler, so he's up at Lawrence right now. It's
Same
sophomore
school.
year.
Gotcha.
So we get him back for the summer.
You have no idea how many similarities you and I have. We've got the connection to NIU and the steel player and the whole bit. And both of your kids go to the same school.
Yeah.
Mine too. And how cool was that, where I paid rent on one apartment?
We got a sibling discount, which was nice. So we didn't get that. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's the way to go. If you got two of them that close in age, go.
Yeah, send them off.
Yeah, mine are even closer. They're just a year apart. So
wow.
It was great. By the time they, were both in college, they were like, yeah, we're going to go to college together. They've always been each other's best
Yeah,
friend.
they get
It's
along
like,
well. It's nice.
cool. Send one check to one place and everything. We're good. And,
that's one big check.
my son's looking out for his sister. So, we're all good.
Because other times you get the siblings that are like, I want to go literally as far apart as physically possible. It's like West Coast, East Coast, put like as many miles as we can. But.
No, not my kids. They're each other's best friends. There's been times where they had friends over, and I see the friends sitting in the living room watching television. My kids are we're outside the backyard playing. It's like they just left their friends sitting there in the house.
That's
So
no, he's tell him about your musical career. He's got his own side project going.
Yeah,
I knew he did. That's what I was getting at.
I had that vibe.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Yeah, I've been in my like college career. I kind of got a lot more into like songwriting and production and doing all the stuff myself for my own project, which I just released under my own name, Still in Donnelly.
Okay.
Not quite as much the calypso islandy stuff. It's more like indie folk, but done kind of like taking a lot of influence from like 70s singer-songwriters like Paul Simon, Nick Drake, Leonard Cohen, like really great lyricists, but doing it on the piano.
Right.
And maybe taking some like 90s like indie influences, like maybe some Wilco or Modest Mouse.
Yeah. Like
stuff like that.
Actually being an artist as opposed to, doing it on an app on your phone. I mean, that's the way to do it.
It's a lot of fun to like learn enough of all the instruments to do like enough of it myself. Like I can play like enough drums to do like simple stuff, enough bass to lay down like simple grooves, enough guitar to do just like enough strumming to get the songs down. Then piano is like the thing I focused the most on. Yeah.
Doing some recording and stuff, obviously.
Yeah, I've got 2 full-length albums and 2 EPs, and then a smattering of singles.
Nice.
Wow.
Released them in the past 4 years.
That's great.
I'm his manager. So
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he only embezzles a little bit.
So what are you guys doing here?
take it over, Dylan.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I've been enjoying a lot about music lately. When you start talking about those genres you were talking about, there's this whole genre where it's a little blues, it's a little country, it's a little rock and roll, right? But I've been enjoying the fact that people are getting back to, hey, I made a mistake here. That's okay. Leave it in. Or the guitars have that pencil through the speaker sound again, where nothing sounds overly processed, and the music it's bringing back the artistry. And it's starting
it sounds like it was made by people.
Yeah, exactly right. It sounds like it's made by people. That's exactly it. So, I'd love to hear some stuff.
Yeah, I think it's about time we hear some stuff.
Because I'm really impressed by the fact that you guys have been, kind of been able to reinvent yourselves a little bit from 40 years ago playing this style of music. And then now you're coming to the area where, all right, you got a younger crowd, younger audience, new music is out there. Now you're doing the Jack Johnson stuff. Cause I tell you what, I don't think people realize how much rock and roll music is actually influenced by calypso and reggae and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the same people that say, I'm a Pink Floyd fan, but I'm not really a blues fan. Well, yes, you are. You just don't realize it.
Snuck it in.
It's all related.
It is. I mean, Pink Floyd was pretty much just a blues band with fancy lights, so I think it's time to get them all set up and
I think so.
Hear something.
All right. We're going to take a short break now. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
Your Sunday nights just got a whole lot bluesier. Get ready for the Bus Stop Blues, a show that takes you deep into the soul of the blues with classic hits, road stories, and live jam sessions. Hosted by bluesman Kevin Purcell and me, the one and only Road Bill. The Bus Stop Blues is 2 hours of nonstop blues, banter, and badassery. Check out the Bus Stop Blues podcast at thebusstopblues.com, where you can listen on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, or any other major podcast platform. Hop on board the Bus Stop Blues, where the blues never stops rolling.
Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. If you've been enjoying our weekly program, we have great news for you. Just tune in to Road to Rock Radio on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and you can hear a rebroadcast of one of our past episodes. Then again on Thursdays at 7 p.m., you can hear our most current episode brought to you by the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66.
So go to roadtorock.org, scroll down, and click on Radio Station. That'll bring you to the Road to Rock Radio, a station committed entirely to the great music from Illinois, from Chicago blues born on Maxwell Street to today's rock and roll and everything in between. 24/7, all music with its roots in Illinois.
All right, for the first time tonight, we have Mr. Myers playing one of the original songs for us. Go ahead and tell us about the song.
This is called Modern Day Pirates. About 10 years ago, I put this out, and we have quite a few friends that are pirates at heart, and I've always, kind of been a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, so wrote this one as an ode to R. So yeah, this is Modern Day Pirates. Some of you guys will know this one, but 1, 2, 3.
take a closer look, they all seem the same. Deep inside the hearts that burn some kind of inner flame. Season my sunshine, powered by rum. Within the stores as they search for the sun. Held fast by trade winds, winters they love. Sailing through the doldrums to the treasures they have won. Hey! Modern day pirates are not what they seem. They're a whole lot like you and a whole lot like me. Modern day pirates, they all live so free, 'cause they're not afraid to follow their dreams. Hey! Even in the darkest time, they seem to be the best. 'Cause fortune smiles on those who beg, oppressing from a curse. And if one day you ask me if I would join the ranks, I would have to tell you that I wouldn't miss the chance. Season my sunshine, powered by rum. Within the storms as they search for the sun. Held fast by trade winds, winters they love. Sailing through the doldrums to the treasures they have won. Pirates. Modern day pirates are not what they seem. They're a whole lot like you and a whole lot like me. Modern day pirates, they all live so free, 'cause they're not afraid to follow their dreams. Yeah. Modern day pirates are not what they seem. They're a whole lot like you and a whole lot like me. Modern day pirates, they all live so free, 'cause they're not afraid to follow their dreams. Hey. Oh.
Arg.
What does this sound like? Because I was so tempted to hit this in the middle of that song. That would have actually
Angelic.
been cool in there. That would have been cool in there someplace. Yeah, no, very good. Wow, I really like that.
I do too.
That's it's got a cool groove, man. It was pretty cool.
That one's Gilligan's Island meets Land Down Under, if you must know my two influences.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that. I can hear that. Yeah.
We're forgetting a member that's not here tonight, and he's covering his part. But our sax and flute player is named Kevin Flanagan, and he unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight. And he actually joined a year after Rich, so he's actually one of the longest running people as well, right? When did he come in?
He was like a decade after me. Frank was that year.
I've lost a whole decade.
You lost a whole
That's
sax.
okay.
You lost
Yeah,
a whole
it's
sax player there.
99. Okay, yes.
Weed does that to you. It does.
Well, Frank, yes, Frank Chodacki was.
What was your name again?
Oh, geez. So yeah, so Kevin Flanagan does sax and flute, and so he is our sixth member. So yeah, we're kind of covering him tonight.
Over 44 years, how many members have you had in this band?
I don't know. I've lost count. Some only lasted like a week, so I don't know if I count those.
That's the truth.
Well, I think probably, I was going to guess like 75, because it started out, I was using music majors that would jam with us for a while, maybe a couple of weeks, and then realized that they were terrified of going on the road. So then I mean, we had several incarnations. Like each album, like each every 5-6 years, probably had a different lineup. And but then, like I said, there's guys who've been around for many, many albums. But yeah, it's like through the early years. I mean, we had the first 10 years probably, 25 different people and all very musically gifted. I mean, I had at NIU, I had all the music people. And it was a wonderful source of musicians. It still is, but I mean. So yeah, it's been quite a few people.
So you were a student at NIU and you put this whole thing together and you were pretty much drawing from the people that were there on the campus and everything. Mm-hmm. Did that continue on? Is it still kind of like an area that you go back to, or if you need somebody else now? It is. Okay.
I mean, I've stayed in the area. I actually, we rejoined the NIU community steel band so that my two sons could play. They actually play steel drums too. They didn't tell you, but we did that, for years, and I've kept in touch with all the steel band community. And I actually went back and played for their 50 year, which was kind of fun. But no, the amazing, especially percussionists, although I got that covered now, but I got a lot of the drummers came, and horn players, of course. Mm-hmm. But it's been a great, source of. That's why I've been in the area so long too.
Right.
Well, I would like to know, who is Mr. Myers?
1 in 3 people guess it, but it's on a bottle of rum.
Oh, Myers rum.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
One night we were just sitting around and we needed a name for the band, and I don't know what was in my hand. It probably was a bottle of Myers rum, but it's funny when you play like schools and stuff. You say Mr. Myers is like a kind of a fictitious happy guy, which
yeah.
When so that's where it comes from. But I think about 1 in 3 people guess it, but we don't publicize it at the grade schools so much.
Right. We should probably go down that rabbit hole and figure that out. Now look up the story of Myers rum and see who that Mr. Myers was.
Yeah.
Fred L. Myers.
There's a famous band director from Sterling, Illinois. His name was Cloyd Myers.
Okay.
And he actually was part of the John Philip Sousa band.
Oh,
so
wow.
He was like an original old school guy.
And he's still around.
No, he's been gone for a long time. Well, he's still somewhere, right? I mean,
right.
He's not whistling Dixie anymore, but but it's so funny because a lot of the people that I went to school with, they found out I was in this band. Of course, they immediately thought that it was named after Cloyd Myers.
Wow.
The famous marching band guy. They would come up to me and that's so cool that you named your band after this famous band director.
And just go with it. Yeah, it is. Cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, he liked his rum too, so.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, you have to live the entire lifestyle. I mean, that's just the only thing you can do. I had a question in there, and
again, Prevagen.
What's that?
I keep forgetting.
Yeah. I had a question in there, and it was related to. I guess where I was going with that was, 44 years. How did you keep it? How did you manage to do it for that long?
I don't know. I guess I'm just stubborn. I don't really want to do anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
I've tried doing other things. I tried selling insurance. I keep coming back to it. And, it's been lean years, obviously, and the kids in college. But I'm still making it work. And you can have a bad day at your day job and go out and flip the switch and boom. Mm-hmm. And I've actually done a couple different side projects. Like I did one called Healing Steel Drums, which is like a layered thing with all these, it makes these overtones. It's pretty cool. I'll have to get you guys a copy. And I did an album when my kids were born called Warmer Than Music, which is interesting because now he's playing the songs. I wrote it when he was like a baby. And did I embarrass you? No. But, there's a couple of things I've done just on my own where like we have a studio in the basement where I'll just do the same thing. I'll lay down a bunch of tracks and, now, of course, I got musicians in the house. I can just say, come downstairs.
Yeah.
But no, it's been, and the songwriting, is also, when you get out of the flow, sometimes you have to kind of force yourself back into it. I'll have songs in my notebook from 10 years ago that finally I'll just it all came together. Mm-hmm. So he's been a real source of inspiration, getting me going again with the songwriting and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why you never throw them away.
No.
No, you got to keep them around.
Paper plates, napkins, there's lyrics.
Yeah. When you started off, were you more of an original band or did you incorporate covers?
We did both. From the start, I did a 2-song EP, which is generous, in 1982, which were both originals. And then in 84, we did it kept growing. Like we did 2 songs, then 4 songs. Then we did an album in '86, all original stuff. Well, I think we threw in usually like Cecilia was our trademark song, Simon & Garfunkel. But these days, I mean, I could actually do an entire evening of originals, and the band guys always are like, come on. And then I, of course, do the stuff that the crowd's going to sing along to. So if you find a mix, though, and a mix of stuff that covers that are different and also your own stuff, and that's why it's worked. I mean, I do believe that it's, we still have people, we still sing Deo with the crowd. We went to Key West in 2011, and I sang Deo. We opened up for Jimmy Buffett, and I sang Deo on Duval Street for 5,000 people. So it was kind of a bucket moment,
Right.
But I mean, we've done like Vegas, we've done cruise ships. We've had some fun times over the years.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I have to admit, I have seen you guys. I saw you probably around 1998, I want to say, sometime around there. And it was only because I was in a band at the time, and they were saying, hey, you need to go check out a couple of different places to play. And I want to say that it was in Hanover Park at a place called Stay Out West. Is that ringing a bell?
Yeah.
Right off of like Lake Street, I think, in Hanover Park. And it was in a big shopping center. There was a Dominic store there, and Stay Out West was like in a back corner or something like that. And at the time, I think everybody knew, oh, they're a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. But no, they're not really. You're not really a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. But that's what everybody said. You got to go see Mr. Myers. There's this Jimmy Buffett tribute band, and I sat there and I watched you guys for probably about 2 hours, and you didn't play one Jimmy Buffett song. And I was thinking to myself, how are they a Jimmy Buffett tribute band?
We didn't start doing any Buffett till probably mid '90s. I finally gave in, and just the requests were coming in. So then, but yeah, it's dangerous. You can get billed like that real quick. But if it brings people out, why not? But
because most people don't know how to define the music.
No.
Again,
Caribbean rock is my best catchphrase. And it's just kind of everything. Like our last, we did a 40-year double disc. We did a live thing at Dirty Nelly's, and we did a video and everything. And so it's got everything from there's a jazz tune on there. There's jazz blues. There's world music. I did Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These Years at the end. But Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, we opened up with, which is pretty cool. But
oh, nice.
Just stuff that we try to just go all over the place, and you can't. People are like, "What's in one sentence? What do you do?" I say, "Well, Caribbean rock." But even that, you can't. If you can't pigeonhole it, you're kind of your own genre, I guess, or mixture of. Right. So.
Yeah, because you say Caribbean rock, and right away people are going to say, "Oh, reggae." Well, yeah, sure, but there's calypso as well, and believe me, my friend Doug that I told you about earlier, he used to correct me all the time. No, that's calypso, not reggae. There is a difference. Well, I'll tell you what. I'd like to hear another one. Right.
I would like to also hear another one.
Yeah, it would be great. And
Thank you.
Then when we come back, then we'll talk about where people can find you and places that you're playing and some shows you got coming up next.
All right.
Sound good?
Sounds good. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
And for the second time tonight, we have Mr. Myers.
This is a little rum punch for breakfast for all you guys. I think you need some. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
When I passed it, we better life can be. Try it now when you will see the light. So I thought about that for a while. Finally, my good conscience got the best of me. I said, nah, I can't drink for rum for breakfast. I can't even talk. So when the bartender came back, I graciously declined his offer. So I said ever so nicely, I told him, don't give me rum punch for breakfast. Even though it's just your specialty. I've got a very busy day ahead, and I am afraid I may not find my way back home. Find my way home. Rum punch. Perfect. Take it, Dylan. So anyway, so I ordered some coffee, drank it right down. Then I ran out the door, cause I was already late. When I got to work, my boss said, hey, what's wrong with you? But I knew right then it was one of those days. It was, yeah, one of those days. I kept watching that clock, waiting for lunchtime, thinking about how the morning had gone. I went back to that decent cafe, and I asked them, I said, do you serve breakfast all day long? He said, but of course, would you like rum punch for breakfast? But you know that it's our specialty. But a very busy day ahead, need a much better day in every way. Everywhere. Just give me rum punch for breakfast, 'cause I hear it's just your specialty. Just give me rum punch for breakfast, need a much better day in every way. Yeah. Every way. Every way. Yeah. Rum-bum-bum. Bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. I think it was Myers Wrong. Here we go. Oh, you're in the band now.
I'm in the band. You got to pay me. Did you see him shredding on that bass guitar?
He was,
over there?
yeah.
Holy crap.
I usually do a solo on that song.
Oh, do you really?
No, he was
We cut the solo.
he's paid by the note.
Wow.
But I did throw extra notes in. You did.
Yeah. He was shredding on that thing
Yeah, he
over there.
was.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
he was.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. I'll tell you, I don't know anybody's names because this is not my preferred genre of music to play. Do I enjoy it? Absolutely. But I'll tell you the thing that I've always been inspired with is the rhythm section in Bob Marley's band, in the Wailers. The way that, weren't they, they're brothers, right? The drummer and the bass player, brothers?
Yeah, the brothers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing.
We opened for the Whalers.
Did you
They're
really?
related too.
You know what? There is I will tell you, I have to be very careful about what I say here. So we can have the full conversation when we're not recording anymore. But what I can tell you is that Bob Marley has many family members in the area. And several of them have actually performed at open jams around here in the area in the whole bit. And I've talked to them and spoken to them in the whole bit. It's amazing his connection and influence on a lot of people here. I know of at least 3. Well, he's got a nephew that lives right here in the area too. So
Cool.
Yeah, it is. We can have that story. We can talk about that story afterwards when we're not blasting it out to the 14 people that listen to the program.
He's right here. Go to his house.
Yeah, exactly. No, I for sure I could connect you with them, and they're fantastic musicians. You know, something might come out of it if you guys just hook up on Facebook or something.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So, speaking of which, how can everybody find you? Tell everybody about your websites and stuff like that.
Well, the main one is mrmyers.com. So it's spelled MRMYERS. There's no extra E, like the rum. Mm-hmm. And then on Facebook, if you look under Mr. Myers Band, but there's also, there's a YouTube channel. Just if you look for us on there, and then also there's Todd Donnelly Music. I've got stuff in there, and then Dylan Donnelly Music over here. But
yeah, you can find my stuff on my own website too. Dylan Donnelly Music.
And we're about to do some more stuff. We got a crazy summer coming up, but just watch for some new music coming out. We're going to try to get at least a couple singles going before summer. But for next year we got the 45, so we'll probably definitely have some kind of big project in the works. They can actually see the whole Dirty Nellies, the 40-year show. It's on YouTube. If you look up the whole show's on there. We had the horn section. We had a lot of alumni come back, and
it's like a We Are the World up there. There's like 47 people up there.
Yeah.
So.
4 tambourine players and 5. Yeah.
2 drum sets, 2 percussionists. So literally like 5 people playing some kind of drum on stage. It was nuts.
Right.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but please come out, and a lot of summer dates on there. You'll see the wall of ink, which is all our summer, and then. It's been wonderful being here, you guys.
Yeah. Are you guys traveling outside of the state a lot this year, or are you pretty much going to be playing around?
We're kind of grounded. We're maybe up into Wisconsin a little bit, but like Geneva, I go up that way, or we go. Not so much. Like maybe there'll be some travel next year. We're hoping for the 45, but gotta stay. Notice the Grindstone doing some new music, and we'll keep everybody posted though when we do.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Wisconsin is like going into East Germany, right?
Yeah.
Did they tear the wall down?
Yeah.
The wall of cheese.
The wall of cheese.
I got that backwards.
The cheese curtain.
Yeah. That's right.
All righty, guys. Well, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Nice meeting you all.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. The 44-year-old Mr. Meyer.
Mr. Myers. Yeah.
Man.
Wow. They've been around a long time. They really
Long
have.
time. But I have a disclaimer. Earlier I said that we'd never had a band like Caribbean Rock in here, but we did have Johnny Rustler and the Beach Bum Band.
Yeah.
That was before your time, I believe.
Right.
So, Johnny, if you're listening, don't get upset.
Yeah. Yeah. We remembered. We called you out. Yeah.
We made correct.
That's right. So, hey, it's summertime. It's the perfect time to go out and see that kind of band.
It sure is. Festival season. It's warm.
Yeah.
Time to go to the beach.
Yeah. I bet you'll find them at places like the Broken Oar and other places along the water and the chain and stuff like that. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
A lot of fun.
So get out and see them. You're going to have a good time with them. And as always, thank you for listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. Check us out every Tuesday for an exciting new episode. See you next week. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago.